My name is Dinkins. I am 35 years young. I actually grew up in the Bronx, New York, in a pretty rough neighborhood. Was always taught if you want to be successful, you need to go to college. So I went to school, ended up getting a bachelor's degree, then started doing social work for a company called New York City Children's Services. Part-time, I worked at the YMCA. I did both jobs for 7 years straight. And with doing that, most of my friends looked at me as successful. The only problem was I never felt successful because I was still living check to check. A lot of things in my life wasn't making sense. And then 7 years ago, a good friend of mine called me up and he said, "Hey, Jarrell, come to this gathering." He said gathering, I'm thinking drinks and a good time, so I showed up. But when I walked through the door, I realized I walked right into a presentation. Y'all know I got pissed off, right? My skeptical mind jumped in. In fact, the only reason I stayed was because that was my friend and I trusted him, so I sat down. But when I sat down, I had my arms crossed, my legs was crossed, my eyes was crossed, everything was crossed because I didn't want to stay, but I still paid attention. And everything this gentleman spoke about that day, it was completely opposite of what I learned to become successful growing up. You see, in my household, we had certain sayings. So I want to see if you heard them too. Go ahead and finish my sentences. You can write it in the chat. You can say it out loud, whatever is best for you. But I heard things like go to school, get good grades, and get a good job, right? Money don't grow on trees. Good things come to those that wait. Watch out for those get rich quick schemes. That sounds too good to be true. And there's people tuning in from all over the world right now. So if you're finishing those sentences, that just shows you that most people think and act the same, but that's why most people get the same exact results in life. You see, 95% of our population end up dead broke, or they depend on the government by the age of 65 to survive, while 5% of our population end up financially fit or financially free, actually living the life they want to live. I didn't know what it took to become a part of the 5%ers. I just knew I didn't want to be a part of the 95%ers. I felt like I wasn't put on this earth to live an average life. So as this gentleman spoke for the first time in a long time, I started to see possibility again. And I said to myself, if what he's sharing is the truth, then I definitely need it. Now, I do want to warn you, in my experience, there's two reasons why a person will be in the room when an amazing opportunity happens, but still miss out on it. First thing is this. A lot of times people watch these presentations, they love it, but then they want to go get advice from people who they consider successful in their lives. And the only problem with that is the people that are successful in your life, they may also be the most uneducated person in regards to network marketing. So you end up taking advice from the wrong person. The second thing is opinions. I have a mentor whose name is Johnny Wimbrey. He's a multimillionaire, international motivational speaker, best-selling author. And he said, Jarrell, if you buy somebody's opinion, you also buy their lifestyle. Meaning if somebody wants to give you their opinion on business, finance, wealth, health, relationships, take a look at their life. If they're not doing things you want to do with your life, why would you follow them? That made sense. When I went back to my neighborhood, all my friends said, those are pyramid schemes and scams. Now, I'm not the person that gets offended. I like to look into things myself. And when I looked into the industry, I realized that there was a lot of successful people involved in the industry. One example is Warren Buffett, right? He's one of the wealthiest men on the planet. His net worth is over $78 billion, and he owns 3 network marketing companies. So I had to ask myself a simple question. Would I want the lifestyle of Warren Buffett or a little cornbread for my neighborhood? You see, cornbread and them, those are my friends. I love them, but none of them was living a life I wanted to live. None of them was doing what I wanted to do financially with my life. So why would I listen to them when there was people like Warren Buffett who had everything that I wanted? So the thing that separated me from most people is I got good at taking advice from people who was qualified to give it to me. So with that being said, over the last 7 years, my life has been magical. I've been on over 120 vacations. Some of my favorite places have been Fiji, Dubai, and Thailand. I've done shark dives, played with tigers, I've rode elephants. I've earned multiple 6 figures since joining this industry. More important than that was I was able to help other people create a significant part-time income, and I helped quite a few people create a full-time income as well. But my absolute biggest blessing is that I built the income large enough to walk away from my jobs over 5 years ago, which gives me time freedom to spend with my 2 children. I have a 1-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter. You know, I get to volunteer at my daughter's school. I'm on a parent committee. In fact, I think my attendance is better than hers at her own school. I get to go to all the recitals, and here's the deal. I really get to spend a lot of time with my family, and I couldn't do that before because I was so busy working. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to share some information with you. At the end, the person who invited you on, they're going to ask you for a simple yes or no. Either way, it's not going to change your relationship with that person. In fact, we're going to give you something for free at the end anyway. So with that being said, the name of our company is Ibuumerang. Now, because I'm going to be sharing stories with you in regards to people who earn money, it's important that I let you know that Ibuumerang makes no guarantees. All right. Any results is going to be solely based on the efforts of the person that's putting in. All right. So the visionary and leader of our company, the person who started the company, is Mr. Holton Bugs. He's been in the industry of network marketing for over 29 years. For the first 7 years, he averaged just about $500 a month, then ended up getting to a point where he was earning over $1 million per month. And in that time, he helped 45 other individuals become millionaires. He comes with an amazing leadership team. They have over 100 years of experience combined. And we also consider Holton Bugs an industry icon. Now, Holton Bugs found that there was a big problem in network marketing. And that problem was, although people would like these presentations and love it, at the end, most times they would never sign up. Why? Because the average person doesn't like to sell things. And then these companies have all these amazing products, but a person will look at it and say, well, why would I spend more for a product with you when I can find it for cheaper on Amazon? So it's an industry where people who don't like to sell, they're trying to sell things to people who don't want to buy. So it's pretty hard for them to create success. And Mr. Buck said, you know what? I think it's time for network marketing to evolve. He said, instead of me forcing somebody who's not good at selling to get good at it, let's just change the industry. And here's how he did it. He said, if you want to be a customer, right? If you want access to everything I'm about to share with you, it's free. There's no sign-up fee. There's no monthly fee. It's free. Now, if you're a person on here right now and you're looking for ways to create an additional income, especially in times like today, I'm going to show you a way you can do that even if you're not good at selling, even if you don't like recruiting. So how do we bring this vision to the world? We do it through our technology called the Prez. That stands for Perpetual Residual Income Builder. And all that means is it's a technology that's going to help you to create an income that will outlive you. Now, have you ever been having a conversation, right? Then you go on the internet and the first thing that pop up is the exact thing you was talking about and you think the government is watching you? Well, it's not the government, all right? It's successful companies that use technology. And what they're basically doing is they're using data analytics and artificial intelligence to sell you things that you are already interested in buying. So many successful companies use this technology. One of the most popular is Amazon. Now, how many of you remember what Amazon's first and only product was? Right? And some of you are probably saying it right now, it was books. But what are some things that you can purchase from Amazon today? Right? You can purchase anything that you can think of. So how does a company go from having one product to becoming $1 trillion company where you can find anything that you're looking for? All right. It's because of the technology that's behind the company. You see, Amazon didn't start with books because they wanted you to learn how to read. They started with books because they understood that based on the books you searched, they would know other things you were interested in buying. So if a person was always looking up cookbooks, then the technology will pick up that maybe they need some pots and pans, some spoons and knives, some aprons, right? Now that person goes on Amazon and the first thing that pops up is everything related to cooking, all right? So this technology allows these companies to create massive success. Our company has that same exact technology, but instead of us starting off with books, we started off through the travel industry. Now, why travel? Travel is the #1 thing posted on social media, something everyone loves to do. In fact, it's an $8 trillion industry, so it actually makes sense to have business and travel. But here's what most people don't know about the travel industry. There's 3 main groups that have access to those big discounts. We call them behind the curtain prices. 2 of those groups are Booking Holdings and Expedia Group. They own all of the search engines that you probably booked your travel through today. So they're able to control how the pricing works. So you may go on booking.com, see a trip for $600, then go on Kayak, see that same exact trip for $400. You think you got a good deal, but you didn't. They set it up that way because they own both of the companies anyway, right? The third group that have access to those same discounts are membership-based companies like the one that we are a part of. And here's what separates us from them. Those 2 companies will get a hotel at a really low price, but then they mark it up really high so they can make a good profit. Our companies get it at that same low price, but instead of us marking it up so high, we just pass the savings on to our customers so you have the best prices when booking your travel. Now, we're able to do that by giving you your own wholesale travel booking platform called iGo. And when you book on this site, you're going to save up to 70% off of the same trips that you were going to book anyway. So let me give you some quick examples. You got a 4.5-star hotel in New York City, $339 per night on Expedia, but $178 per night on our site. Paris, France, 4-star hotel, $440 night on Travelocity, $130 per night on our site. You save $310 per night with this one hotel. Now, this is the same hotel, same days. It's the same Paris, France, right? Same thing. You have a car rental on rentalcars.com that was $392, but on our site, it was only $221. So you guys get the point. All right. These are some examples of people who save money on the bottom, but I want to show you at the bottom right-hand corner, that is our CEO that saved over $1,500 on a single booking. So you're not only going to get discounts on things like car rentals and hotels, we also give you access to booking things like cruises, homes, weeks. So if you're a person that likes to rent those mansions and those big homes, we have access to those properties. We even give you access to things like shore excursions, theme parks, outdoor activities. We give you access to our rideshare company. I'll talk about that a little later. And we give you our price guarantee that says if you find a better deal, we'll refund you 110% of the difference. Now, we do also give you access to booking flights, but there's no company on the planet that will give you discounts on flights, all right? We are not the discount flight club. As a courtesy, we give you access to booking, but the good thing is, as you book flights, you earn travel rewards that you can use to book your travel. So if you looked at everything I just shared with you and you like it, remember, there's no sign-up fee, there's no monthly fee. Just talk to the person who got you on and they're gonna help you get started. But I'm gonna switch gears and talk about how we actually earn money by helping other people save money. You see, a little over 7 years ago, when I sat in a seat like you, I was 28 years old, I had a college degree, I was working 2 good jobs, but I was still broke. I understood that what I had done for the past 7 years, it got me to that moment. And I knew if I continued doing it for another 7 years, nothing in my life would change. And I desperately needed things to change. You see, I started paying attention to the world and I realized that education equaled education. It didn't equal money. You see, I actually landed a job in the field I got my degree in, which was social work. So I could help other people, but I could never help myself because the income was never high enough. And I always picture my life being one which I made a lot of money, but I also had time to create experiences with my family around the world, and that just wasn't happening. You see, no matter what job I went to, they would always pay me based on what they felt I was worth. I never got paid based on what I thought I was worth. And you can ask yourself that question, you know, are you getting paid what you are worth at your job right now? For me, the answer was absolutely no. So when I took a look at this industry, they said, Jarrell, you're gonna get paid based on the effort that you put in. I said, if you're gonna pay me based on my effort, you're gonna pay me a lot of money. You see, I don't mind working hard if you're gonna pay me hard. So that's why I chose this industry. Here's why I chose the company. It made sense. They were doing what other successful companies were doing. You see, they took the network marketing industry from that old school taxi cab era where you had to be good at recruiting to win, to that new school modern era where even if you wasn't good at recruiting, even if you didn't like sales, you can actually create a pretty good income because of the technology that was evolved. Now, immediately, this reminded me of that first rideshare company that rocked this planet. All right, several years ago when it came to New York, one of my friends said, you need to download this new rideshare app. So I go ahead, I download the app, start putting my information in, and then it gets the credit card. I looked at my friend and said, absolutely not. You ain't gonna catch me. Y'all gotta watch out for little Mikey. He's over here doing a rideshare scheme. He ain't catching me. 3 months later, I'm in Atlanta and I go to this business event. I take a taxi the first day, it's $20. One of my other friends, now he's a business partner, he goes, why don't you just download the rideshare app? So I trust him a little more, so I go back to the app. I take one of my cards, start putting the information in, but I take a card that has like $20 on it just in case they working together or something. You can't be too safe, right? But I take my first ride and the experience was absolutely amazing. In fact, it was only $11. But here's the 2 things that stood out to me. 3 months later, I still had that app on my phone. I never actually deleted it because I wasn't paying for it anyway. The second thing was I only used the site because it actually saved me money. You see, if I would have requested the rideshare and it was $20, but the taxi was $19.50, I would have saved my 50 cents and took that taxi, all right? So when I looked at this company and I saw that they were doing what these companies were doing, I knew that it was a win. You see, we can give you access to our site for free and you'll have no reason to delete it because you're not paying for it anyway. So even if you're traveling 5 months from now, you'll still have it on your phone. The second thing was the only reason that you will use our site versus any other site is when you go to search your vacation, it comes up cheaper on our site versus the other sites. It's not like you're paying for it, so you are forced to use it. You're using it because it actually makes sense. You see, I learned from a mentor years ago. He said, Jarrell, if you want to be successful at something, find somebody successful at what you want to do and do what they did. I said, if you would have told me that in the 4th grade, I would have never went to the 5th grade. Okay, I'm just being serious. So when I looked at this company and I saw they were doing things like Amazon did, they was doing things like the successful rideshare companies were doing, I was more afraid not to do it than I was to take a chance, okay? So let me show you how this works. Let's say if me and the friend is taking a vacation. Now, he's a free customer because I gave him one of my sites. So when he goes on his customer platform to book a vacation, he see that he's going to save $212 by booking his trip. He gets excited. Now, on my site, I see that I'm going to save double of what my customers save because I'm an actual member. So I'm going to save $424 on the same exact trip. But here's why I get more excited. When my friend saved his $212, the company pays me 50% of that. So I made $106 in cash on top of the money that I saved. Y'all know what I do at this point, right? I start calling all my friends and family members like, y'all need to book this trip. You're going to save $212. I get enough of them to save. I get $106 each time, and I'm going on that trip for free. And don't act like y'all wasn't thinking that too, because I know you was, all right? So let's say you looked at this and you're thinking, man, you know what? I could become a member in this. Now, let's say you went out and got just 10 free customers, okay? The average person saves $600 per year when using this site. So if you had 10 free customers who saved $600 each, that is a total savings of $6,000 for the year. Half of that goes to you. You just made $3,000. You didn't sell anybody. You didn't convince anybody to do it. All you did was give out your sites for people to save money. Now, when I looked at this, I said, I'm going to become the Oprah of sites. I'm out here like, you get a site, you get a site. Everybody's getting sites. So what if I did 10 times this and I got 100 customers? 10 times 3,000, that's $30,000. What would you have to do in your job this year to bring in an extra $30,000 legally? I just thought this was a good way. So let me ask you this. Based on what I just showed you, have you seen anything that you have to sell? No, the sites are free. You couldn't sell them if you tried. Now, would your customers have any reason to quit? How do you quit something that's free? It don't even make sense. You see, I've been in this industry for over 7 years, and in a traditional network marketing company, you have to get good at recruiting if you want to earn money. Here is just different. You see, you can become a part of this, and if you don't like selling, if that's not for you, you could totally focus on getting free customers. Now, me personally, I don't mind building teams. Here's why. I know I can go get 500 customers by myself, but it may take some time. But if I did it together with a group, we can get to 500 a lot faster. So let's say if I shared it with a few people and they shared it with a few people and I end up having a team of 50. If all 50 of us went out and got just 10 free customers, we would get up to 500 a lot faster than me doing it alone, right? So with this example, if they did the same exact thing, I would bring in an extra $20,000 on top of what I earn from my personal customers, because on the team side, they're gonna pay me 10% of all the savings that happen in my entire team. And of course, the higher your team goes, the higher the income potential. So if you looked at this and you're still thinking to yourself, I just wanna be a free customer, it is free. That's why we call it a free customer, okay? If you're looking to become a member, which means you wanna earn money and save more when you use these products, then it is gonna be these prices, so just pay attention. So everyone starts at standby, okay? So everyone's gonna pay $49.95. So imagine being in the airport, you're on standby, but once you get in the plane, you still have to pick which seats you wanna sit in. So you have coach class, business, and you have first class. Coach class members have access to booking flights, hotels, and car rentals. Business class, you can book everything coach can book, but you also can book cruises. First class, you have access to everything this company has to offer. Now at coach class, we're gonna start you off with 10 boomerangs. A boomerang represents those free sites that you're gonna give out to your family members and friends. Coach class, we're gonna start you off with 25. Business class, we're gonna start you off with 25. And then first class, we're gonna start you off with 50. Now at coach class, you're gonna earn 50% of the travel savings bonus. So if your friend saves $600 on a trip, instead of you getting 300, you're gonna get 150. But if you're at business or first class, you're gonna get the full $300. Now, coach class will pay you 10%, business will pay you 12%, first class, we're gonna pay you 15% every single week based on the amount of business you're bringing into the company every week, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Now, if you look at the bottom, these are the one-time fees, okay? So this is what you're gonna pay on top of the $49.95. Now, if you are viewing this right now, or if you're watching this on video, and it's in the month of May, our company actually has a discount that says, if you want to be a first class member, you're going to get $200 off. So instead of you paying $1,000 on top of the 50, you're only going to pay $800 on top of the 50. All right. Now, regardless of which package you choose, there's going to be a monthly business overhead of $99. Now, if you just heard that and you think $99 is a lot of money, then the business is not for you. Go ahead and be a free customer. All right. But it costs more than $99 per month to run a Frank stand. You tell me what business you know that costs less than $99 per month to keep the lights on. Every time you pay that $99, we're also going to give you 10 more boomerangs. Now, I became a first class member mainly for two reasons. Number one, I would rather start with 50 sites versus 10. So every boomerang you give out is worth $300 per year to you on average. So if you started with Coach and you gave out 10 boomerangs, that's like bringing in an additional $3,000 on average for the year into your household, right? And then business class is 25 times 300, that's $7,500 in additional income on average coming into your household. And then 50 times 300, that is $15,000 in additional income, all right? The second reason I became a first class member was I would much rather get paid 15% than 10%. So that's it, all right? So here's a few of the ways we get paid and then I'm done. Now, when you become a member, if you decide to refer these packages to your friends, depending on which package they choose, Coach, Business, or First Class, our company will pay you an accelerator bonus or a direct bonus of $22.50, $45, or $90. Now, in a traditional network marketing company, that's where it stops. You only get paid one time when you directly refer someone to the company. Our company is just different. Here's what they said. Everybody you refer, even if it's 100 people, 200 people, we're going to call that level one. But when your friends on level one refer people on level two, we're still going to pay you $4.50, $9, or $18. When you have people on level two, refer people on level three, we're going to pay you $3, $6, or $12. And we're going to allow you to take that down all the way to 7 levels. Now, I've never heard of a company that's going to pay you a direct bonus for people you didn't directly refer. But once again, we are just different. So when you start referring those people, you're going to put some people on your left side and they're going to start referring some people and you're going to be earning that accelerated bonus on your left side. And then you're going to start referring people on your right side and they're going to be referring people and you're going to earn that accelerated bonus on the right side. But this is where it gets magical. The company says, because you're building 2 teams at the same time, we're going to also pay you a dual team bonus for the same exact people. And all that means is based on the amount of income you and your team is bringing into the company every single week, they will pay you back 10%, 12%, or 15%. And that all depends on which package you want to start with. Now, with this one bonus alone, you can earn up to $250,000 per week. But even if it was only $50,000 per week, you would be having a great year every week. Somebody asks you, hey, how was your week? Say, I had a great year this week. Okay? So it's just different. So here's our rideshare company. It's called Vibe Rides because you get to choose your vibe before you get in the vehicle. So you can choose the temperature you want, if you want the windows up or down, if you want to have conversations with the driver, you can choose the radio station you want to listen to. And if you're a female, you can even select something called Girl Power where only female drivers can pick you up. Now, we launched our company out in Texas, but we also brought it to Florida, and now we are going to the rest of the world. So if you haven't heard your state or your city or your country, congratulations. For the first time in your life, you have an opportunity to be first at something that actually makes sense. So what are you looking at? You're looking at a business model with a technology that's already proven. You've already seen how companies like Amazon started with one product, but because of their technology, they grew to $1 trillion company where you have access to buying anything that you're looking for. Our company, we're doing the same thing, but for the first time, you have an opportunity to take advantage of it. So how do you do that? You become a member. You start sharing your sites with your family members and friends. Once you do that, your job is done. Now, our technology goes to work. So let's say if one of your friends, one of your customers, they book a trip to Miami and they save $600 on that trip, you got to check for $300, right? Now, because the technology is working, our company calls your customer and says, hey, we see that you're going to Miami on Saturday. We have our own rideshare company called Vibe Rides. If you download it and use it, your first ride is free. It's on us. Now, do you think your customer is going to download Vibe Rides? Absolutely. But imagine this. What if every time, regardless of whether they were on vacation or home, for the rest of their lives, every time they got in a Vibe Ride, you got paid? There's no company on the planet that's giving you that kind of opportunity. And I'm only showing you 2 verticals, rideshare and travel. What happens when we do like Amazon and we start adding new products, new services, new verticals? Do you realize that the only thing you did was refer your customer one time for free, and whatever they do in regards to this company for the rest of their lives, you're going to get paid off of it? So the rideshare industry is a $24 billion industry right now. It's projected to become $1 trillion industry, and you have a chance to get a piece of it. There's 3 ways you can earn on our rideshare. You can become a driver. You can earn anytime your free customers ride, And you can also earn when others drive. So imagine you referred, 15 drivers who referred, a bunch of drivers. Now you have like 100, 200 drivers on the road. Imagine every time they pick up a passenger, you got paid. So here's what it looks like. Let's say if this is one of the 200 drivers you have on the road, and for the first hour of one of the days, he made $100. Now, 75 of those dollars are gonna go directly to the driver, but 3 of those dollars are gonna go directly to you because you referred that driver. But let me show you the magic of that $3. It's not your car. You're not paying note or insurance. You're not paying gas for that car. You're not even taking your time to pick up the driver. The riders. All you did was refer the driver. Do you see how big this can go if you have hundreds of drivers on the road that's doing this, multiple times per day, several days in a week? Now let's look on the other end. There's also a rider. So what if one of your free customers is a rider? They're a passenger in that vehicle. With this example, you would have earned $3 as well. Now you can see how big this can go with the different riders and drivers that you have on the road. So our company is very simple. We're very big on technology. When you become a part of this, you're gonna get your own smart codes. We call them boomerangs that you give out to your family and friends. They can become customers, drivers, riders, or all three. The most important thing you need to remember is that once they activate this code, they are attached to you for the rest of their lives. So whatever they do for the rest of their lives, you will benefit. So here's the question. Do you boomerang? Here's what I know. Over the next 6 to 12 months, everyone's going to have access to this on their phone. The question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to be one of the persons using the site, or do you want to be the person getting paid off of everyone using the site? Right? This reminded me of a guy named Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a multi-millionaire, right? Big on the internet. He said, the biggest mistake in my life is not investing in that rideshare company. He had an opportunity to invest before they put any cars on the road, and he turned it down. Now, why do I share that with you? Because everyone talks about being in the right place at the right time. But it's possible to be in the right place at the right time, but if you do nothing about it, it's as if you wasn't here in the first place. All right. So with that being said, guys, I have a special guest that is on the line. I am super excited because I met this gentleman years ago, and I called him up a little while ago and said, hey, listen, could you do me a favor and hop on this call? And he agreed to do it. Now, just to give you a little bit about this gentleman that's coming up, because he's a big deal. Several years ago, when I started my journey, I told you guys I got invited to a gathering. And when I walked in, the guy that was giving the presentation was the gentleman that I'm about to bring up. And I'm telling you, the way he spoke that day is what caused me to make a change in my life. It's what caused me to take a chance on something that I had no idea. And little did I know that on that day, he would become my mentor. He would become one of my closest friends on the planet. Man, I go to this guy for advice for everything. And man, he's just a phenomenal person. He's been in this industry for, I believe over 8 years at this point. He's earned multiple millions since joining this industry. And he's been responsible for helping people earn hundreds of thousands of dollars and even over $1 million since he actually became a part of it. Me being one of those persons that was able to earn multiple six figures because of his kind of guidance. All right. So this man is phenomenal. He's helping, build teams all around the world. I know he has one huge team that's growing out in Jamaica where the average income is actually $500 or less than $500 US per month. And they're helping actually change the entire economy out there. So this man is phenomenal. He's spoke all around the world. He's requested all around the world. He's at one of the highest levels in this company called Diamond. So if you guys won't mind, do me a favor and please welcome Mr. Michael Jacks to the webinar. Mike, did you make it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that introduction, bro. Thank you,
man. Hey, man, I'm gonna mute myself and get out your way.
Nah. You good, man. You good. You can hang out. You can stay right there. It's funny because as you were saying, when you started your presentation and you started going over like that first time you went into the room and, you sat down and I could tell, I remember that day actually like it was yesterday. I still have the picture of the day you got in on my Instagram, I think way back. And it was funny, like, I could tell you were in the room and you were just like, damn, you were like, oh my God, I'm about to listen to one of these things. And then I remember at the end of the presentation, you were like, yeah, it makes sense. All right, cool, I'm in. And now look, you know what I'm saying? Years later, built friendships. We traveled the world together, made a lot of money together, and it's been dope. It's definitely been dope, man. Been a great ride. And I appreciate you for asking me to be on the call today. And for everyone that's on the call, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out as well to be on the call. Like you said, my name is Michael Jex. I'm actually born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And recently I decided to, take my talents down to South Beach. I live in Miami, Florida now. And, life is very different, obviously, thanks to the opportunity at hand and what we're talking about here in the industry of network marketing. Now, first of all, respect the Rel because of this presentation he just did was amazing. And if you're a guest right now on this call, I would definitely say, you got a good overview of what it is that we do here in network marketing and with Ibuumerang for sure. It was amazing. So respect to you, Rel, for that. And, what I want to say to you guys is this. I definitely don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to add some value to you while I'm here. And, if you're a guest, Rel actually touched on it when he first started with his presentation as well. He said, when we grow up, we don't really have, models of something like this that we can all use and say, you know what, that's a path that I'd like to take in order to change my life and go get rich. This is something completely different. It's something completely opposite of what a lot of us know, to become, wealthy. Most of us, we're programmed, man, when we grow up, the way we're going to be wealthy is, well, especially from where we come from, a lot of us on the call might be from, urban areas. And if you're not, it's cool, but it's kind of similar, right? Around the world, it doesn't even really matter where you come from. We're programmed to want to we grow up watching TV and, who do we admire? We admire Michael Jordan. We admire Drake. We admire Beyonce. We want to do all of the things that we see on TV that makes us feel good. And that programs us to say, you know what, I want to do that stuff too. And some of us may know, like, we grew up and we had a successful uncle that was a doctor or a successful aunt that was a lawyer. And, some of us may want to follow down those trends as well too. But then that's it. Like, we don't really have any, we want to be in the entertainment industry. We want to be an athlete. We want to be an actor. We want to be a doctor. We want to be a lawyer. And it kind of ends right there, right? We don't think that there's any other ways for us to really, generate wealth for ourselves unless we go out and we hit the lottery. We get lucky. But this right here, network marketing is one of those things that can really give you that type of lifestyle. I think about when when I first got in, that's what I wanted to do. I fit in those categories. I wanted to be, a music producer. I went to school for music and all that stuff. But, come to realize what I really wanted was the lifestyle that I thought that music production would allow me to get. And that's what I think most people they don't give enough thought into. I heard Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said, most people, they go throughout their entire life, right? They go throughout their entire life chasing a passion, something that they like, instead of chasing or utilizing, not even chasing, because you don't got to chase this. They chase a passion, something that they like, that they love, that they enjoy, and they want to do that forever and ever and ever, instead of actually utilizing and cultivating a gift inside of them that they already have. And I think for many of us, humans are, we're beings that we are social. We like to communicate with each other. I think there's more people on earth that are naturally very good at communicating. Even with the emergence of social media, we communicate with people every day. As a matter of fact, I think social media has made us even better communicators. Y'all spend all day, commenting on the Shade Room post all day long. Getting your communication skills up. You can actually use those same communication skills that you're using all day, every day on social media to get you rich. Like, I'm not even talking about like, kind of sort of rich. No, seriously, you know who we're able to live like? We are able to live like those same people that I was mentioning to you before on who we grew up to look at and want to be like. For example, like, we got somebody today. It was yesterday. We got notice that a gentleman that's in our company, he earned $100,000 in 1 week. 1 week. Here, and so I actually spoke to him on the phone today. His name is Edwin Haynes. He's the global master ambassador for our company. And I was like, yo, how does that feel? Earn 100K? I've earned millions in this industry, but I've never earned 100K in 1 week. And he said, the owner, Mr. Holton Buggs, who Rel talked about in his presentation, the owner said that he could have earned a couple more. Actually $23,000 more if he was the next rank up. You know what I mean? He could have went out this week and earned $123,000. Really sit down and ask yourself this. How many places can you sit here and say, okay, cool, for $1,000, you know, which actually right now is $800 plus $50, like Rob mentioned to you. For $850, you could sit down and literally say, I could go make $100,000 this week. If you were those who had the uncle and the aunt who was a doctor or a lawyer, they probably didn't make $100,000 in a week. I almost guarantee that. And it's not to knock them. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. The thing is that we have to make sure that, you know, we know that we need people out there doing those things. So when we do presentations like this, not to knock what anybody else is doing. We need people to do, you know, certain types of jobs out there. So we're not taking away from that. But what we are doing is this: we're giving you guys another chance. We're giving you guys something that can allow you to say, you know what? This is something that I never thought existed, but it can help me out. You know, this is something that can allow me to go live a dream life without having to, you know, wait for a lottery ticket, or, you know, wait for the hoop dreams that I had. You know, first of all, if you want to be an athlete and you're over 25, wrap it up. It's over. And I'm not trying to kill your dream. Listen, wrap it up. The hoop is over with. If you want to be in the entertainment industry and you're above 30, wrap it up. It's over. Okay. And I'm not trying to knock your dream. I'm not trying to kill you. Here's what I want you to get. I want you to understand this. There's people that are around you that are waiting for you to be great, and the greatness is already inside you. It's already inside you. It's waiting for you to go use that, but you're chasing the passion instead of utilizing the gift that you already have. Take this time, utilize the gift, okay, and go do what you're responsible to do, which is showing the people that you love in this world how great you can be, so you can elevate their lives as well. All right, that's what we do here in network marketing. That's about it. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Rel, but I really appreciate you allowing me to jump on a call and say a few words. And that's pretty much it, bro.
Thank you, Mr. Michael Jackson. I appreciate you. And man, that's always, you know, one thing that I valued about Mike. You know, he's done many things in this world. And, you know, anytime you can call on someone like that, I believe that is what separates us from most companies, from most industries where you have access to this kind of mentorship. These are people that are actually willing to help you. So with that being said, we're going to make this simple. We don't want to make this weird. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to text the person who invited you here, and you're going to text them either a 1, a 2, or a 3. 1 means, I wish this guy would shut up so I can sign up. I am ready to get going. All right. 2 means, I like it, but I just want to be a free customer. I just want to save some money. And 3 means, and you're only going to text 3 if you are absolutely serious. 3 means, I love what I just saw, but I have a few questions that I need to get answered before I go ahead and pull the trigger. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I hope you have an amazing night. We have a bunch of these going on tomorrow. So get in as soon as you can. The person who invited you on, they're going to give you access to the ones that we have tomorrow, and you can start your process right away. So with that being said, you guys have an amazing